Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you to make sure that you do this one thing when buying a house. It is literally one thing that oftentimes gets overlooked, and you should be doing it whenever you're considering the purchase of a house. Even if you are considering renting a house, if you're considering living somewhere for a while, or an office space for your business, for whatever the case is, okay, whenever you're going to be somewhere for many hours a day and you're considering committing to that place, whether it's purchasing it, renting it, leasing it, whatever the case is, you should always do this one thing. And I've rarely heard of people mentioning it when they talk about the things that you should do when looking for a house or an office space. So I figured that I would make a video about it, okay? And I'll tell you why I thought about this video. You should always make sure that you get at least decent cell phone reception, okay? Now, here's what it comes down to. In most areas, at least where I live, in most areas of Canada, you're going to get at least decent cell phone reception for the majority of the carriers. I'm sure the United States is probably going to be very similar, and probably most countries of a similar manner are going to be probably similar in the sense that most houses are going to get, most areas are going to get at least decent cell phone reception. But there are some areas that are newly developed that don't get cell phone reception that is as good, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, a few years ago, my brother-in-law and his fiance bought a house in a newly developed area. So my wife's brother and his fiance bought a house in a newly developed area. They didn't check if they had good cell phone reception. They bought the house, okay? The market was really hot, so they just bought the house. They didn't really go into much detail about the things to check. They just were happy to get their hands on a house, and rightfully so. I totally understand where they're coming from. They got there, they moved in, and they realized they had zero cell phone reception with the carrier that they were with. So they had to actually switch carriers for their cell phone. They had to switch carriers for home internet, home phone, cable, everything. They had to switch carriers for everything because the carrier that they were with didn't have reception in that area yet. It was coming, but it was still a few years away. Fast forward a few years later, they ended up moving into an older developed area, and they were able to switch back to their original carrier. But here's what it comes down to. You know, if you are locked into a contract with a cell phone carrier for 2 years, right? Let's imagine, or locked into any sort of contract, or you just don't want to change because you have so much like seniority with this cell phone carrier, with this phone carrier, with this internet provider, right? And you move into a house and you cannot use them anymore as your carrier, as your provider, that's probably going to cause some problems. So it literally will take you a minute to walk through the house and make sure you have good cell phone reception, walk outside the house and make sure you have good cell phone reception. What I learned with the house that we bought a few years ago, we've lived here about 2 years. I'm in my driveway right now. We've lived here about 2 years at the time of me filming this video. By the time it comes out, probably be another year after that. Essentially, the house and outside the house gets fantastic cell phone reception, but we have rooms underneath the back porch and the front porch that get no cell phone reception at all. But I put a Wi-Fi extender directly close to those areas, so the Wi-Fi signal is fantastic, and I just use Wi-Fi whenever, you know, we have a bathroom under the front porch, and then we have like a cantina or a cellar, as it's called, under the back porch. So if I'm ever in those rooms, I get fantastic reception because of the Wi-Fi repeaters, extenders, whatever they are. That's it. So something simple to think about when buying a new house. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.